Welcome to Powercoat Music. In this presentation, we're going to talk about the Tascam DP24 Digital Portastudio and recording backing vocals. Lead vocals and backing vocals are not the same. If managed and produced correctly, they're neither recorded nor mixed down in the same way. Vocals can be the most difficult tracks to record, and good vocal tracks are created during the recording process, not during mixdown or in post-production. Without taking the time to properly set up and prepare, the result of vocal recording sessions are often predictable. For more information on recording lead vocals, watch my presentation, Tascam DP24 DP32 Digital Portastudio Recording Vocals, on this channel. There are many different ways to record backing vocals. This includes, but is not limited to, using a vocal processor, recording your own backing tracks, that is, backing yourself, recording a different person for your backing vocals, or recording a group of people for your backing vocals. In this presentation, we're going to cover all of those topics and more, along with how to record backing vocals on the Tascam DP24. Before recording backing vocals on the DP24, it's a strong suggestion that you prepare for your vocal session first. Good backing vocal recording pre-production involves a number of important factors. First, select a room or area that's as dead as possible. For instance, bathrooms and kitchens are bad choices because of their reflective surfaces. Bedrooms are better because mattresses are good for absorbing sound. Now, if at all possible, treat whatever area that you are using with acoustic foam, like you see behind me here. Or another good choice is moving blankets or any other sound absorbing materials that kill reflections and reverberations. In addition, to avoid standing waves, don't record your vocals directly in the middle of a room. Another alternative is to use an isolation filter. Well, isolation filters help you to achieve a more secluded sounding vocal recording in small home studios or untreated environments. It's like having a mini or partial vocal booth, and it can be very effective. Now, I use the SE Electronics model and it works great, and I highly recommend it. Consider using an external microphone preamplifier. Keep in mind that audio signals from microphones are weak, so they need a preamp to translate it into stronger line level signals. If you want to get the most out of your microphone and achieve the best possible sound quality, then using a good mic preamp is essential. Preamplifiers should be placed in the signal chain between the microphone and the mixer or recording device. Its job is to precisely and accurately control and maintain the audio output peak signal from the microphone. Now, let's start with using a vocal effects processor. There are many different vocal effects processors on the market that generate multiple part harmonies that can be used for backing vocals. Now, for this purpose in my studio, I use the Digitech Vocalist MV5. The MV5 was designed to produce 5-part vocal harmonies from a single input that sounds natural and true to the original vocal signal. Let's talk about my vocal effects processor setup. In my studio, along with other multi-effects processors, the MV5 is connected to an audio patch bay, which in turn is connected to both of my Tascam DP24 Digital Portastudios and my main mixing board. This configuration allows me the freedom to connect and use my Digitech MV5 with any unit I need to on the fly. When the MV5 is routed to my Tascam DP24, the setup is the same as any standard external multi-effects processor. The effects signal is sent via the effects send to output on the back of my DP24. Processed return signals from the MV5 are then routed to any of the inputs, that is A through H, on the back of the DP24. For more information and details on exactly how to use external effects with the Tascam DP24, watch my presentation, Tascam DP24 DP32 Digital Portastudio using external effects, on this channel. Let's move on to recording your own backing vocals, that is, backing yourself. In my youth, I learned from other recording engineers that lead singers should record their own backing vocals whenever possible. Many would say that no one sounds more natural at backing you up than you do. This is and was standard practice for many artists on many recordings. You could record your own backing vocals with or I should say, or without a vocal effects processor. Now, I often use one in my studio when recording backing vocals because it saves me time, and it's very effective because I often really like that group effect and sound in my music. When recording your backing vocals, or if they're part of a background vocal group, then try not to use the same microphone that you use to record your lead vocals. Now, this could cause a buildup of peaks in the lead singer's voice, mic, or the room during that specific recording. Let's talk about recording a different person for your backing vocals. In this scenario, a goal is to often try to make a singer's backing vocals bigger with a greater sense of space without having them dominate the lead vocal. Now, this can be done by stacking or layering these types of tracks. The process works by having the singer take a step backward from the microphone after every subsequent overdub. When you're doing this, you increase the microphone's preamp gain with every overdub just enough so that it's the same recording level of the first track or layer of the background vocal session. Now, the goal here is to try and keep the meters saturated enough so the level on the meters are the same regardless of where the singer is positioned. This can make for more enhanced background vocal tracks. We'll move on to recording a group of people for your backing vocals. Using a large diaphragm cardio condenser microphone can make the airy parts of your sound more prominent and can also help the backing vocals sound better in the mix. These mics can also add a bit of lift along with proximity effect in the upper frequency ranges. Dynamic microphones can also have a more natural compression with transients and volume, which can be good at keeping your backing vocals under control, which is sometimes needed. Having several singers arranged around a stereo pair or a single microphone is often viewed as a great way to get the best results as opposed to recording each person in the group individually. Lastly, don't be afraid to experiment with group positioning and different microphones, as this can be a key to getting good results for you. Now, let's look at how to record vocals on the DP24. Once your vocal environment has been set up to the best of your ability, using the suggestions made previously, you should be good to go to record vocals on the DP24. First, plug your microphone into input A on the back of the DP24. Once you're done, we're ready to get started. Now, to get started, press the Assign button to open the assigned screen on the DP24. Use the cursor buttons or press the Select button for track 1 and align the cursor frame on the assigned screen with track 1. Use the jog data dial or press the Source button for input A to set the recording source of the track 1 to A. Press the Home button to return to the home screen. the home screen appears. Press the REC or Rec button for track 1. The Rec indicator blinks and the unit enters Record Standby mode. Use the trim knob for input A to adjust the input level for the microphone. Set the trim knob so that the OL indicator for input A does not light even when the loudest sound to be recorded is input. Vocal recording levels can be tricky. Here are some suggested OL indicator markers that you should try to maintain during your recording session. First, try to get your OL indicator levels to average around 18. Next, the average OL indicator levels should peak during your session at around 12. Okay? And lastly, but not least, try not to let your OL indicator peak higher than 6. Now, all vocals that are input through an external microphone are shown by the associated track meter. Now, when you raise the fader for track 1, the stereo fader, and the monitor level knobs, you should be able to hear the sound of the mic input through connected headphones. Now, here's a point of note. If the OL indicator continues to light even when the trim knob is turned down, that means the mic signal itself is too loud. In this case, move the mic further away from the sound source or the sound source further away from the mic, or lower the volume of the sound source in some way, shape, or form. Hold down the stop button and press the rewind button to return to the beginning of the song. Press the play button to start the song and sing into the microphone. You should be able to hear your vocal in the headphones or through your speakers. Use the faders for track 1, the pan knobs, the stereo fader, and monitor level knobs to adjust the monitoring level and balance as needed. Hold down the stop button and press the rewind button to return to the beginning of the song. Now, press the record button to start recording and sing into the microphone. The record button lights red and the Rec indicator for track 1 stops flashing and lights steadily. After you finish your performance, press the stop button to stop recording. The recorded file is then saved in the folder of the currently loaded song. Press the Rec button for track 1 so that the Rec button becomes unlit. In summary, a strong suggestion is that you always record your backing vocal tracks dry. This means don't add any effects to the signal during recording. Add effects to the track during mixdown only. In this way, a good vocal track is never ruined by an effect that you can't get rid of because you changed your mind. In addition, this will force the vocalist to hear what they actually sound like during the performance, which could clearly identify any flaws that can be corrected. The bottom line here is that great vocal performances often come from tracks where the performer was able to clearly hear and distinguish between both good and bad sections of a take. Well, that's a wrap. If you like this presentation, please give it the thumbs up and click the subscribe button on your screen now to join our group. We have new presentations coming out every 7 to 14 days, and we would love to have you be a part of our team. Also, leave a comment in the comment section below and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. Also, while you're here, check out some of the videos and music on the channel, and especially the playlists because they're designed just for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you soon.